Hi, everyone, and welcome to this licensing update for the 1st of February 2022. Special day for us because it's our birthday. License Q is turning 2 today, and on this happy day, I have the pleasure to show you the updates to the product terms and anything else that's happening in the wondrous world of Microsoft licensing. So let's get into it. A quiet month again after January updates, which were just two, four this time around, and not that shocking big ones. So we have audio services, an update to the license prerequisites table. Apparently, they oversaw that Office 365 A1 is a prerequisite for business voice as well. So if you are an educational institution and you want to use a business voice, you can do this with an Office 365 A1 account. And you can see that here they've added A1 to the list of license prerequisites. So if you own any of these licenses, you are able to use Business Voice. Please bear in mind, Business Voice is a SMB type product, so you cannot use this if you have more than 300 Business Voice licenses that you need. Then Microsoft 365, they added privacy management, risk, and subject rights requests for government SKUs to the availability tables for EA, EAS, and MCA programs. So MCA is right now means CSP, but in the future that will change. They updated the table, adding G3, G5, and Office 365 G1, G3, and G5 as eligible prerequisites, which you can see that they added all the SKUs for governmental institutions alongside the standard privacy management licenses. And they have updated the table here. As you can see, it's now governmental ready as well. No other changes except for some typing changes to the privacy management entry. Now, but what is privacy management? Because I have to admit I wasn't aware of this, so I started reading into it. This was released back in or announced back in October 2021, and it's an addition to Microsoft 365, obviously. And they claim that with the latest regulation going into effect in China, most of the world's population will soon have its personal data covered under modern privacy regulations. But how organizations manage their regulatory responsibilities with all those laws is often manual, time-consuming, and expensive. Privacy management for Office 365 is generally available to help customers safeguard personal data and build a privacy-resilient workplace. You have role-based access controls and data de-identified by default. Privacy management helps organizations to have end-to-end visibility of privacy risks in an automated way. So how do they do that? The product identifies critical privacy risks and conflicts. It automates privacy operations and responds to subject rights requests. So if you are, for instance, a financial institution and you are being audited or something, this will help automate your processes. It empowers your employees to make smart data handling decisions. They have an overview here on what the dashboard looks like. So you can see that if there are any risks identified or threats that you might have, that you can action those immediately. It shows all kinds of dashboards about the data they've gathered and so on. Because data lives across so many clouds, solving the challenges requires great insight and partnership. So to meet you where you are in your privacy journey, there's an API that allows you to integrate with your existing processes and solutions. We're also excited to partner with leading privacy software companies like OneTrust, Security.ai, and Wirewheel to extend their rights management capabilities to personal data stored outside of the Microsoft 365 environment. So you can buy this. It will have integration with these privacy software companies listed here to also work on data outside of your Microsoft 365 environment. Now, how do you license this? well, you can find the product within your compliance manager or your compliance dashboard, but unfortunately, it's not the standard available in Microsoft 365. So what I always like to do in this case, there's a great link. It's in the top here. I might have to put it in the description because I don't think you can type this. But it's about tenant level services licensing and the guidance around it. The great thing about this site is it covers all the privacy and compliance features that Microsoft offers. I've handled this website earlier before, but it also states how you license such a product. So which license provide the right for a user to benefit from the service. And this is called Microsoft Priva, but it's the same. Priva is available as an addition to organizations with Office 365 in all these flavors and Microsoft 365 in all these flavors. They should expand this obviously to now also allow the governmental licenses to purchase this service. Yeah, and that's basically how you need to buy it. So it's an add-on to your maybe potentially existing Office 365 or Microsoft 365 licenses. So how do users benefit? But you get the ability for organizations to gain visibility into the private data. And what is very important to know is how you access it. So they're built into the Microsoft 365 Compliance Center and are enabled at the tenant level for all users within the tenant. So again, if you buy one license, you activate this service, it's activated for all your users. So if you should buy this then for any user in your organization and assign the licenses to all your users. We'd recommend that the license be acquired for any user that you intend to benefit from and protect the services. Customers can purchase the following licenses. Usually it states if you are able to scope this, it doesn't. So that means that this is just a license that you buy for your entire tenant. So if you're interested in this, there's no way to scope it. If you find a way to scope it, let me know. That Microsoft probably needs to change their services around, but I've yet to find the first company that's interested in a privacy management license. So that was a short sidestep to Microsoft 365 privacy management. If we go back to the summary of changes, then we see that Microsoft Azure has updated the hosting exception clause, and it's called Azure Customer Solution now. So the hosting exception was potentially sounding too harsh. So it's an exception that you get, but if many customers or users of the Azure platform are currently building solutions on top of this, so it shouldn't be an exception, but should be allowed to build your customer solution on top of Azure and then use those services. So what does that look like in detail? Well, you can see here, if you scroll down, that they changed all the entries of hosting exception to Azure Customer Solution clause. And the Customer Solution clause is listed a little bit further down. So the hosting exception has been renamed to Azure Customer Solution, and the use rights and conditions for use haven't changed that drastically. It still reads, customers may create and maintain a customer solution despite anything in the contrary in customer's licensing agreement. Customer may permit third parties to access and use Microsoft Azure services solely in connection with the use of that customer solution. So if you create one, you are allowed to have third parties, so people outside of your organization access that solution, but only that solution. No other Azure services are you able to offer to your customers. Customer is responsible for ensuring that third parties who access, use, or distribute the customer solution comply with these terms and the terms and conditions of customer's licensing agreement and all applicable laws. So that's a bit of cover your ass for Microsoft. Obviously, if you do this, you should be responsible to have them comply with the terms and conditions of your licensing agreement, as such also with Azure in your licensing agreement and any and all applicable laws associated to it. Now, finally, There's been a new addition to the product terms Microsoft Cloud for Retail add-on. This was in public preview, like many of the industry clouds that Microsoft created, but they've added terms for the Microsoft Cloud for Retail as it's become generally available. And this is what this looks like. So not a lot different from the ones that we've handled earlier, like the cloud for sustainability or the cloud for financial industries or the cloud for manufacturing. It reads quite the same. So the product conditions can be found here. It's in the server product pool. Extended term eligible, all qualified user exemption not available. It's reduction eligible. In an SCE, it's not available. It's true up eligible as well. So you can true up this as many times as you want. So a bit about licensing. It's an add-on. So customer may acquire Cloud for Retail add-ons subject to the following conditions. Apologies. Customer must have a license for the corresponding qualifying licenses. Customer may acquire one add-on subscription license for each qualifying license unless provided otherwise in these terms. Customer may acquire add-on subscription licenses between true updates in advance of the acquisition of the qualifying licenses. So that means that if you are buying the service, the qualifying service already, but you have the option to true that up at a later stage, you can already purchase more qualifying or the more retail add-on licenses that you might need, which you're currently not paying for. Microsoft Cloud for Retail add-on features are dependent upon purchase of the following qualifying licenses. So right now, this is solely and singly available for Dynamics 365 Customer Insights. No other licenses available currently to stack this on top of. So what you saw with Cloud for Sustainability or Financial Cloud licenses is that you could also purchase these for Microsoft 365 services, other Dynamics services, or et cetera. Right now, the Cloud for Retail add-on is only available for Dynamics 365 Customer Insights. So that covers it for this time around. I hope you all enjoyed this edition of the Microsoft Licensing Update. Right now, I will take a little break and go celebrate our anniversary. And I hope to catch you on the next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.